everyone, welcome back to Moko Talks. My name is Moko and tonight we'll be talking about an update regarding the whole Overwatch 2 PvE cancellation situation that's been going on this week. So the director of Overwatch 2, Keller, released a blog post regarding the situation that's going on and the future of Overwatch 2, and I've read through most of it and I decided to make a video about it because there's so much controversy in what he said, and the points he brought up needs to be, addressed. So let's read it together, shall we? So this is the normal blog of forum of Blizzard, where most developers and director comes and talk about their current ideas regarding Overwatch 2. So let's dig into it. Let's dig in, shall we, guys? Hey all, it's been an emotional week in the world of Overwatch. That's an understatement. A few days ago we talked about our change in approach to PvE in Overwatch 2 and released a high-level roadmap for the year. We're really excited for everything we'll be launching soon, but much of the discussion this week has been about how we're cancelling PvE outright, which isn't accurate, so I want to take some time to discuss some of that with you here. And with the first paragraph, we find the very first controversy. So what the community said is that they're canceling PvE, and he's saying that it isn't accurate. Based on what he means is that there's still gonna be PvE in the game, but it's just not what they had planned. But that's the whole point. That's why everyone is pissed off. They're not pissed off because you're canceling half of the PvE or one of your plans. They're pissed off because you guys basically gone back on your words. I mean, we know there's PvE in the game. There has been PvE in the game since Overwatch 1. So what the fans actually means here is, why the fuck did you disable Overwatch 1, come up with Overwatch 2, and all you had is the same idea as you had for Overwatch 1? It does not make sense. It's not something you should you cannot just say it isn't accurate. You can't just, say that's wrong and you're right and we're wrong. And dude, you have a million people, even more, that have picked your content bit by bit. You can't just gaslight us like this. That's just not accurate. Let's move on. When we announced Overwatch 2 in 2019, the idea for the game was centered around the PvP game we released last October, and on the PvE side, story missions and hero missions. Alright, makes sense. Story missions focus on fast-paced, co-op gameplay, as well as story, cinematics, and cutscenes that expand the world of Overwatch, which they gave up on since Overwatch 1, by the way. Story missions tell a linear narrative about the heroes of Overwatch reuniting and battling the new null sector threat, pushing the story of Overwatch forward for the first time since our original game released. These missions take place on huge maps with new enemies and new cinematics. We will begin to release them in Season 6. The work done here is amazing, leaps and bounds about what we've built for PvE previously in our game, and I can't wait for our players to get their hands on. We'll be sharing some details there in the coming weeks. Alright, so if you're saying, see, these story missions, they used to exist in Overwatch 1. We all know about that. We all got the Orisa null sector skins, the Bastion null sector skins. We used to play these a lot in Overwatch 1, and I, for one, was really having fun with them. And at some point they just ceased to exist in Overwatch 1, and they started reusing old, like Frankenstein stories, like for Halloween and for Christmas, like the same stuff. They were reusing the same content over and over again while adding some few skins. And now he's saying that they were gonna continue this from Season 6. Alright, so I have one question for them regarding this. See, look how I'm going to shoot him with one comment. Why wasn't this released when Overwatch 2 was released? Why weren't these missions already there when Overwatch 2 released? Why did it take you until Season 6 to release it? Why not just release it in Season 1 or Season 2 at least? At the very least, man. That begs the question. Like, what were you guys doing? Since they cancelled the huge PvE missions and hero missions and stuff, so you had time and you had the team to produce these small story missions. I'm guessing they don't take that much effort. if you can make like you guys did an effort to make the new and improved Frankenstein in season 3 or season 4, I can't remember, but why was this one not just out there from the get-go? Why right now you're deciding to do this? Why was, and better yet, why was this not communicated early on? Like, oh yeah guys, just saying that story missions are getting done, here's a preview of what we have planned. Why? Continuing, hero missions or hero mode, on the other hand, encompassed an in-development game mode that allow players to upgrade individual heroes through talent trees, providing a deeply replayable version of PvE in Overwatch 2. It was a really exciting concept, something that not only resonated with players, but the team was passionate about and really dedicated to. This is the mode we're no longer moving forward with. Alright, so I understand this, like this is not a problem for me. But the problem here is not that you're just canceling this, it's that you didn't even try. Like, you didn't even communicate in what's going on with this. You didn't even say anything about this. You just outright said, yeah, we're canceling it after a year and after release, after the seasons of release. Like, this is just not acceptable in my eyes, or in the community's eyes even. And just saying, yo, yeah, you see this we've been talking about for 4 years, yeah, we're canceling that. All right, so have you tried? Did you show us why you're canceling it? What's the difficulties? Why this not feasible? Now, I understand, like, you have like more than 20 heroes, and each and every one that needs a talent tree that needs to be worked on, you know, blah 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 blah. But I'm gonna just outright and say this is Blizzard, okay? Activision Blizzard, which is worse. This is Blizzard. You have one of the biggest powerhouse of video gaming companies out here, and you can't just do this task. I'm gonna give you an example. Dota 2 has talent trees. Dota 2 has dedicated developers that always work on balancing and adding new things to the game, and it has much more heroes, a much more complex system than Overwatch as a whole. Overwatch is much simpler than Dota, and yet in Dota they are able to do it. Why can't they do it in Overwatch? What's the reason? We'll talk about this later. To give you some context for this change, I'd like to talk about the past and the origins of Team 4. The Overwatch team was founded in the wake of a cancelled game at Blizzard called Project Titan. We already know this. That game had many facets, but at its heart, it was an FPS MMO, like Destiny. The Overwatch team, especially at its inception, considered itself an MMO development team. As we transitioned away from that original concept and started creating Overwatch, we included plans to one day return to that scope. We had a crawl, walk, and run plan. Overwatch was the crawl, a dedicated version of PvE was the walk, and an MMO was the run. It was built in the DNA of the team early on, and some of us consider that final game a true realization of the original vision of Project Titan. Okay, so you're telling me, so this team was dedicated to make an FPS MMO and ended up with Overwatch, and yet you're having so many problems with balancing this game, making it much better. You know how much more complex an FPS MMO is? Do you know how much more complex it is? And yet you're coming over here and saying, yeah, this is what we were working on, what we're planning to do, what we're doing, what we like basically were trained to do, and you're failing miserably at the literal crawl version, man. What do you expect me to believe as a consumer, as a player, when I read this and see the end product as bad as it is, and then I'm gonna go and think, like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there? Like, what is the development team doing? What is the management team doing? What is going on there? Like, it just goes to show you that they don't have their shit together, and it shows even more in this kind of statements like right here. What are they going to expect me to say? Oh, so you guys were FPS MMO, but you're working Overwatch, which is not an FPS MMO. Do you want me to sympathize with you? Do you want me to understand? I'm not gonna sympathize, and I understand that you failed, and you keep on failing since Overwatch 1 last days. When we launched Overwatch in 2016, we quickly started talking about what the next iteration could be. I will tell you right now what was the next iteration for Overwatch 1. It was to be a esports game. You could, like, yeah, let me read this and I'll tell you about that. Looking back at that moment, it's now obvious that we weren't as focused as we should have been on a game that was a runaway hit. Instead, we stayed focused on a plan that was years old. Work began on the PvE portion of the game, and we steadily continued shifting more and more of the team to work on those features, which is a real bullshit. This is just bullshit right there. So he said that we started talking about the next iteration could be, and you guys wanted Overwatch to be a esports game, and you guys kept doing balances for it to become an esports game, and your focus was shifting. Like, well, you guys literally were just focusing on making Overwatch a esports game. By doing so, you fucked up your game. Literally, with all the balances, with all the projects that you were doing, with all the ads-on you had to the game, you fucked it up because you were so hell-bent on making it a successful esports game, with instead of just letting it grow. You did not do that. I'm gonna tell you right here, I've been with Overwatch ever since it's released. I've been playing this game since its release. I'm gonna tell you what they did. When Overwatch was first released, it was a massive success, literally a titan of a video game, and everyone was enjoying it, even me, and I enjoyed the shit out of that game, even my friends. And as the seasons went by, as the new balances came, new patches, we started noticing like the game is starting to go bad, like really bad. Like maybe after 3 seasons or 3 patches, the game just went horrible. And you know why? Because they were trying to balance it for esports. Man, we were enjoying the PvE content when it first got released. We were enjoying the cinematics, we were enjoying the heroes, we were enjoying the lore. The lore was insanely good. Like, whoever wrote that game was amazing. I don't know if he's still working at Blizzard right now. But as the seasons went by, it got worse and worse and worse and worse, because they were not focusing on making the game in PvE. They were not focusing on making the game a good PvP game. They were just focusing on making the game a good esports game, which literally fucked everything up in the process, during the process. Alright, so things rarely go as planned in game development. We struggled to find our footing with the hero mission experience early on. You were not even doing that in Overwatch 1 though. Scope grew, esports. We were trying to do too many things at once, and we lost focus. The team built some really great things, including hero talents, new enemy units, and early versions of missions, but we were never able to bring together all of the elements needed to ship a polished, cohesive experience. I mean, even with the balances, hero balances, you were fucking up and you're not making anything good. Like, for example, Genji is still to this day not properly balanced, where either you nerf the shit out of him or you make him way too strong that everyone play him, like, and you keep nerfing him and nerfing him and nerfing him. They still could not make him good. We had an exciting but gargantuan vision, and we were continuously pulling resources away from the live game in an attempt to realize it. I can't help but look back on our original ambitions for Overwatch and feel like we used the slogan of crawl, walk, run to continue to march forward with a strategy that just wasn't working. I mean, during this whole time, Blizzard was going through a shit ton of stuff, like with the sexual accusations, with the lawsuits. I'm guessing teams were leaving, women there were harassed on a daily basis, having problems with your CEO, Bobby Kotick. You know, it wasn't a good year, even like from when the Overwatch 1 first got released until now. Blizzard has not been doing any good from lawsuits thing, but it was still one of the most popular and gigantic gaming company out there, because I'm guessing with the merger happening with Activision and the claiming about Call of Duty, one of their most profitable games in from 2016 to now. And I'm just saying 2016 because that's when Overwatch was first launched. And Call of Duty, when the merger happened with Activision, you guys were getting a lot of money from Call of Duty, the Call of Duty franchise. And that franchise went to hell, by the way. Even though there's still a lot of players playing it, it's just copy and paste content. The company was still making a lot of money. I think the most problematic things the company had was the senior developers were just leaving, and management kept getting worse and worse and worse. We had announced something audacious, our players had high expectations for it, but we no longer felt like we could deliver it. We needed to make an incredibly difficult decision, one we knew would disappoint our players, the team, and everyone looking forward to hero missions. The Overwatch team understands this deeply. This represented years of work and emotional investment. They are wonderful, incredibly talented people and truly have a passion for our game and the work that they do. Alright, so why was it cancelled? Why can't you do it? What's wrong with the team? Like, this is... Why announce it even? Why even announce it? Why do the announcement? Okay, what changed from 2019 till now? In 3 years, what changed, man? Tell us. I mean, if you can't tell us, just hint at it, dude. But I'm pretty sure everyone with half a brain would put 2 and 2 together and say, well, you guys went to the free-to-play battle pass system and you were making a shit ton of money. Management started saying, yeah, don't waste money on PvE, just keep updating this. This is my take on it. Also, I would like to add that the original Overwatch team with Jeff Kaplan just don't exist anymore. I think there's a whole new team with fresh graduate developers that are working 24 hours a day and have zero experience on a way to do this successfully, and management is not any of help, and the director, from what I'm seeing, is very either inexperienced or stupid. They don't know how to make this game, and they say they're looking at the battle pass right now. They're looking at the current version of the game. They're going, yeah, this is working, so we're just gonna leave it like that and keep working on it. You know, we're not gonna do anything new or hard. You know, I just don't know. Lastly, people have wondered why this announcement came at this time. Yeah. After Overwatch 2 had launched, we started refining our plans for future seasons. As those plans grew, we tried to find ways to make all of our ambition fit together in a plan that we believed in. We couldn't, and we also knew that we couldn't go back to pulling people away from the live game in service of that original vision again, so we made the difficult decision to cut Hero Mission and started planning for the future. So I'm gonna ask him this kind of question. Why the fuck did you release the game then? Why the fuck did you release this live game? Why not have a single team working on the live game and another team working on the PvE version? Like, what's going on? This is just blatant miscommunication, mishandling of the situation, and bad planning. I am 100% sure after him saying this that a lot of people quit over the Overwatch developer team, and they literally only, I would have guessed like there's like 5 people working there right now. How is this possible? Like, seriously, how is this possible? From there, we needed to update the vision for the game, gain confidence in our new direction, and roll out the changes to the team. The decision was the start of a long process, not the final piece of it. This has been hard for us, of course, but as the director on this project, I have to do my best to make decisions that pull the game and the community first. Bullshit. Even when those decisions are disappointing, double bullshit. In this case, I had trouble pivoting away from a vision that just wasn't working, and for that I would like to apologize to our players and our team. I'm sorry. Apology not accepted. Apology not accepted. It took way too long for you to announce this. This should be announced before the game was released, but of course not many people will play it. So in my opinion, you waited until now because you wanted first to hook people in Overwatch to make them pay for the battle pass, make the revenue off the cost of making Overwatch 2, and as soon as you make good revenue off of that, you say, all right, we made enough money, we can now lose players. I think this was the managerial decision in doing so. They said, okay guys, this PvE was not working. It would not ever have worked since we lost Jeff Kaplan, since we lost everyone. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to release Overwatch 2 free to play, get new players, add the battle pass system, make money off of the battle pass because we have heroes locked behind it, which is amazingly bullshit for a game like Overwatch 2, by the way. We're gonna have heroes hidden behind it. We're gonna make amazing skins and put them behind this battle pass, but we're gonna make them like, you know, milestones, like every 50 or every 100. And after we make so much money that we cover our costs, or maybe go in the black instead of being in the red, we will announce that we're not gonna make the PvE game. This way we will lose some players, but we'll keep the players who are too much invested in the game to leave it. We are focusing our efforts and our passion into making this game an ever-evolving experience. We are still committed to building many of the elements we talked about at BlizzCon 2019, including the story missions that delve into the next chapter of Overwatch universe, new types of content we haven't yet shared, and new stories that we're planning to tell both in and out of the game. We're excited about this direction. We can't wait for you to finally get the experience of what we've been building. Overwatch was born from the ashes of Project Titan. It was a moment of metamorphosis for the team and the project, and something beautiful came out of it. This is another moment of change, and the future of Overwatch will be born out of it. Amazing, amazing bullshit you just said here, Aaron, and I'm not buying any of it. As I tweeted, I am done with this game. This game does not have a future for it, and I'll tell you why it doesn't have a future anymore. Because you fucked over your community way too many times for you to pull another bullshit like this. You did it so many times. You did it so many times that it's not acceptable anymore, and no one's gonna buy it. Okay, no one's gonna buy this. No one's gonna say, oh yeah, we forgive you. Yeah, we're sorry. You're sorry. You know, we understand. The players will not be like this. You know why? Because we lost Overwatch 1. If we had not lost Overwatch 1, our reaction would not have been this way. If you had released Overwatch 2 as Overwatch 1.5, like a new and improved Overwatch 1, everyone would have been fine with it. Literally, no one would have a problem with this. If you had not advertised Overwatch, this version of Overwatch as a whole new game, we would not have been pissed off. We really would not have been pissed off. And I'm guessing this is the reason Jeff Kaplan up and quit the game. Oh, quit the company. Because of bullshits like this. The guy has been taking jabs over and over and over again about silly and stupid and retarded decisions that the management of Overwatch have been making, sorry. And it's just not acceptable anymore. No one's gonna accept this. No one's gonna take this. We're not gonna take this sitting down. And I literally just cannot support this bullshit anymore. You guys are making bad decisions after bad decisions that is not benefiting the game whatsoever. Your creativity is dull. You're dull. You're lame. You're not it anymore. The original team made such amazing heroes and characters that are still loved to this day. I remember watching the cinematic of Genji and Hanzo, and it was amazing. It was actually amazing, and like goosebumps were rising out from our skins. Genji is such a beloved character. Hanzo is such a beloved character. Mercy, Tracer, all of them, they were the face of Overwatch. We were all excited to see them, and now we've gotten these new heroes that are so bland and so lame that literally, like, you look at them and there's nothing from them. There's no personality. The voice actors are garbage. Their lore is insanely poor and badly made. What happened to the Overwatch that was first introduced with the amazing lore, amazing writing, amazing voice lines, amazing voice actors, amazing cinematics? All of that was gone. In the first season of Overwatch, we were getting cinematics after cinematics after cinematic that explains the lore of each heroes, that made us play the game, made us want to play this hero, made us want to play exactly like the cinematics. Hell, I didn't know that you could reflect Hanzo's ult until I saw the cinematics. Then I started reflecting every ult I see in the game. This is how Overwatch first started. This is what we loved about Overwatch. Not this carbon copy of bullshit that keeps spouting and releasing. What is it, like Junker Queen's shit? Lifeweaver is shit. Kiriko is shit. All these new characters are shit, man. They don't have a personality. Echo doesn't have a personality. No one has a personality. You don't feel anything when you play with them. Even that stupid hamster. Like, what is this? Where is the content? Where is the lore for these heroes? They're so like, you're bringing them in for diversity's sake, and it's just so annoying to see. You know, Kiriko's cinematic was the cringiest shit I've seen to this day. Overwatch 2 trailer was the cringiest shit I've seen to this day. And they're still posting them, they're still making them. And you're proud of that? Seriously, you're proud of that? I would be ashamed of it. But hey, if this is the product you're willing to release, then this is the comments I'm willing to say. And honestly, I am just absolutely 100% done with this game. I'm no longer playing it. It's done. It's done. I can't play it anymore. It's just too much. There's too much corniness, too much cringiness, too much bullshit out of this game. Anyway, guys, this is what I have for tonight. I hope you're reached. Thank you if you have reached to this 25 minutes mark. It's really long. I'm sorry. I appreciate you and I thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment if you have any comments, and if you like my content and want to see more of it, please do subscribe. I am trying my best to keep the uploads going and the content is going. And with this, I would bid you guys adieu. Ciao for now. Bye bye.